Okay, guys, welcome back to Crypto Conversations. Today we're joined again with my dad. We'll be talking about the Lightning Network. So, Dad, how have you been? What's going on?
I've been well,
Good.
enjoying the Florida weather down here.
Nice.
And how are you?
Pretty good.
How's
I'm
Los
in
Angeles?
California is very nice. It's almost 80 degrees today. So,
Good.
I'm enjoying the weather. But
Well, I watched
let's,
your video.
oh, yeah.
I watched your video on the Lightning Network.
Okay.
What do you think?
Um, I've
Do
got
you,
I I've got my concerns with it. Which I'm sure you probably have some as well. I think the network is the Lightning Network is a little. I mean, it solves some problems that I don't think Bitcoin even has. I think it's trying to make Bitcoin be usable as a form of payment, but I don't really see Bitcoin as that. Um,
wait, you don't see Bitcoin as well a form of payment?
Yeah, I don't see Bitcoin being used necessarily to pay for things. But I think that it's trying to at least let it be able to be used for that, but in doing so, it's then also making Bitcoin be more centralized, which I I think that kind of defeats the purpose of what Bitcoin is supposed to be used for. So Bitcoin originally was
So
supposed to be a
what's
digital monetary system
currency?
currency. However,
Currency.
I think it's evolved into just being a store of value, and it can be used to pay for things. But it's in the same way that you wouldn't necessarily go into a store and buy things with gold, because just well, you go in there and you're lugging around this heavy thing, and chipping off a piece and weighing it and giving it to somebody. I don't see it being used in that way. I think it's more of a something you use as a store of value, or that's what it will be used as. But I think the Lightning Network makes it gives Bitcoin the ability to be used to pay for things. But what I'd like to start things off each time, and I know you don't really like to do this, but um, briefly explain what the Bitcoin or the Bitcoin Lightning Network is. So at least we have that starting point. So if you could at least for our viewers briefly
Sure,
describe
sure.
what it is.
I've I've done my studying this week to try to understand it. Well, you've taken the wind out of my sails because, like, everybody who love is in the all the Bitcoiners are Bitcoin is first. It's a currency, and or if it's not a currency, like you say, it's a store of value, which is problematical in itself because there's nothing there. It's a digital something like an NFT, but we won't argue about that today. We're just going to talk about the Lightning Network. So, the Lightning Network was basically created to solve that problem that Bitcoin has as a currency because number one, the fees are high. You could end up, if you wanted to use it to buy a coffee, you could end up paying $50 for a transaction fee, and you could have to wait for an hour or two or whenever because the blockchain size and all that. So it doesn't work as a currency in that sense. It also it's slow, it's slow. So the transactions you couldn't go someplace and use it, and the price volatility. I watched a video, a YouTuber who is a Bitcoiner, and he went to El Salvador because he wanted to go to the Holy Land and see how Bitcoin was being used there. And it's working very well in El Salvador in the area where the tourists are going because it's built up businesses that cater to tourists coming to see Bitcoin. It doesn't seem to be, even though it's become legal tender, most of the people aren't using it. He had a hard time finding places outside of, he went to this place called Bitcoin Beach, and he could buy a hamburger there at McDonald's with Bitcoin. He was all excited. But I think it caters more to how they have sex tourism. This is Bitcoin tourism. Really, I mean, he went there because he wanted to see if he could live for a weekend on Bitcoin. Anyhow, it's the point I was going to say was wait, let me just finish this idea. He asked about the price volatility, and the answer to that was, as soon as the transaction is made, they change it over to the local currency because of the price volatility. So it's a pain in the butt for them to have to do that. Anyhow, so that's it's supposed to solve the problems that Bitcoin has. That's why it was created. It's a second layer protocol that sits on top of the Bitcoin network off the blockchain, because if it's on the blockchain, it's going to take too long. So this is something off blockchain. Essentially, you have to get a wallet and put your Bitcoin in there, and you have to find somebody you want to send it to and make a connection with that person, and you have to have connections. And then to send the money, you have to go through a channel, and you can't just, usually it's not just from a channel, one person to another. You have to go through nodes, and then it can get very complicated because it's kind of like your brain going from all these things.
The simplest way that I heard it explained, and I just heard this one today actually, was it's like, imagine going to a bar and you're buying a beer, and you go and you buy the one, you buy a beer, and you may pay the tax on it, you give a tip, and it's more like having a tab, and then you just settle up and you pay once.
The problem with
You
this
keep the
is
running
with
tab.
Bitcoin and everything, it's off the blockchain, and it sits in this third party place, which is against the religion, because you don't want to have a third party.
Now you're centralized.
And so it's not centralized, and it allows for bad actors. And they've created this watchtower, which keeps an eye on all the activity in your Lightning thing. And so you got that, the chance of getting hacked, and it sits in this no man's land until the channels are closed, and then it goes on the blockchain. So it's not, to me,
I think it's
great
it's trying to solve a problem with Bitcoin that real Bitcoiners don't feel is the problem. Whereas,
wait, are you calling a real Bitcoiner someone that's only interested in it as a store of value to make money, not as a currency? So you're basically giving up on currency.
I don't see Bitcoin as being a currency. I think it can be used as one. And then for me personally, I use it as a store of value, and I wouldn't.
They're going to get a lot of bad comments on this now. I think
it's possible.
You're going to get some people really getting down on you for. I mean, there's a lot of videos on the Lightning Network and how important it is in the technology.
And it's possible. I'm still learning about all the stuff, So this is one of those videos where I might be closer to your skepticism in something, and when it comes to crypto or a crypto thing, and that doesn't mean someone can't change my mind. I'm learning about it, so the more I learn, go ahead.
Let me feed into your skepticism more. Skepticism more as I've dug into this. There are incorporated companies now that are developing the work on the channels in the nodes, and that's the other thing. They're making fees. They're making money off the nodes and the channels, just like the miners are on Bitcoin, and it's a profitable thing. And so that's a third party digging into the Bitcoin money tree,
Yeah. I mean, but
so that's, it's not, everything that Bitcoin is supposed to be is not, is the opposite of it.
Well, that's
So I don't
why
see how it's
that's
not going
why
to
I
be a
don't see
currency unless,
Bitcoin as being a currency. I see it more as this store of value. I think there would be a different coin to be your um your currency or the thing that you would spend. So I would see like Bitcoin being the backing. So whatever the other coin is, you're that you're holding a certain amount of Bitcoin to back the other currency and to be able to trade. So say you go on Coinbase or Uniswap or wherever, and you trade your Bitcoin for a certain amount of, I hate Dogecoin, but that might be what it is. It could be Solana, it could be something else that people that's a faster with their transactions, um, and lower fees, and still on chain. But then that's what you use to
on
spend
chain,
on
or
chain.
something that on chain that's faster than,
Yeah,
will it
like
have to be
Solana,
like,
I think is really quick. Yeah, they can do a lot more transactions per second, and the fees are very low. I've used Solana on certain Web3 applications, and it clears very quickly. It's like
but you
done.
never used it as a currency? Have you ever used Bitcoin as a currency through the Lightning Network?
Um, no, not to buy stuff or use it. But I've sent it on chain, and it did take, it took some time for it to clear, and it's
And how much did
nerve
it cost you?
wracking when you. Not much. It was only, I mean, I think it was like 50 cents, and I sent like $16,000 worth of Bitcoin.
You
I
sent
moved,
16,000?
yeah, I
Oh, out of
moved when I
out
moved,
of
yeah, when I moved my Bitcoin
into your
off the
cold
exchange,
storage.
yeah, that's on chain, and you pay a fee, and it was very, very low. Um, and that didn't matter if I was sending 1,000 or 16,000, it was still the same fee. Um, but it took, you know, 15, 20 minutes to clear. I forget how long
Wait,
it
you were
took. And
worried about losing your
well,
money? Were
you're
you worried about
because
losing your money?
you're sending it to a wallet, and if you somehow mess up the wrong numbers, or you accidentally say I sent it to my Ethereum wallet or something, it's gone.
So that
So you're a
another
little, you're sitting
reason
there
why
waiting.
Bitcoin is not, another reason why Bitcoin isn't going to be a currency.
Why? Well,
For that
again, I
very
don't.
reason. I
That
wouldn't
what that you
want to
could
be having to worry about my money. In
if
that
you
case, it was
but
16,000. I'm paying my rent. If someone's paying their rent or something like that, they'd be worried. Oh, I hope I did the right numbers. I'm
well,
just
if
saying
you
that
but
if
you
people
have the
send
control. The more
their
control
bank,
you
they don't
have,
worry about it.
but you have less control. The more control you have, the more it's up to you. You have more responsibility.
Yeah.
You're the type of
I'd
person
rather
who
not
wants
have.
the government to take care of you, and that's why
No,
we're
it isn't the
different, and why
government.
you don't. It's a government or
No, it's the
banks or
bank. The
whatever
government just the government
you
regulates the bank. The bank is not the government. The bank
and
is
that
regulated by the government, and the government makes sure the bank doesn't screw you.
okay, and
So
that's
I love
why.
it. I mean, like,
That's our fundamental disagreement, is that I don't trust the government and the banks and whatnot as much as you do.
well,
I
yeah,
I
because I
trust them to an
believe in the
extent because you
Constitution.
have to,
I
but
believe that I believe when the United States was formed and the Constitution was written and everything, they did a decent job. And it's not
sure, so
perfect,
do I.
but but
But
most people.
I don't trust other people to interpret what the Constitution means or stands for, especially today. So, and at least with Bitcoin, I know I have control of my money. I have control of what I do with it, where it goes, where I can keep it, and that's what.
You have control as long as you remember all the numbers and you don't make any mistakes. So, all right. So I give up control but I don't have to worry about making mistakes. And the control in practical terms, 70 years of using banks and stuff like that, I've never had a problem. I don't know anybody in my lifetime that's had a problem with the
Well,
bank.
you're very lucky
So,
that you've had that
so
experience, but there's not everybody
no, well,
in the
if
world
if
that
that
has that
well, I
same
live in the
luxury
United
as
States.
you.
Well, if
I
it
think that's
happened to
what I
1%,
think that's what they
if it
refer
happened
to
to
as white privilege, Dad.
I don't know what you're saying, but
But that's what it
if it
is. I mean, there's
happened to
plenty of people who
1%,
have bad credit or can't get certain bank loans or can't, even use banking systems in other countries such as Africa or, poor countries, say like what happened in, I think it was Cyprus or whatever, where the banks just confiscated all their money.
I think you're being American, Western centric because you know what? A lot of people in Africa do have decent banking situation, you
Sure.
know?
Some do,
So,
some don't.
so
But there's
you
people
think
in
that, well, it's so the same thing in them everywhere.
Sure.
There's a lot
And
of
so this
people
is just
living in America that
this
don't,
is an alternative. That's all it is. I'm not
people
saying
on
it
the
may
street
be
are not,
I'm not saying it's going to
unhoused people
replace
are not going to
the
be getting Bitcoin tomorrow.
I'm all I'm saying is I don't think it's necessarily going to replace the entire banking system. I'm just saying it's an alternative for others who can't, or have a hard time participating in the current banking system. That's it.
Be honest now. Are you concerned about those people, or are you more concerned about that your investment in Bitcoin grows to be 500,000 or $1 million in the next 7 years? I mean, do you really care about the people in Africa? Tell me this. Yeah. Tell me, do you care about the people in Africa?
Sure.
Okay.
I
Have you sent
believe
them any
I,
money? Have you sent them any money lately?
when I
I'm just saying, I'm
participate.
not, don't
Now
tell, I
well,
hear all these
well, you asked the
Bitcoiners telling me
question.
about,
You asked the question, and then
all
you're
right,
now trying to lead the answer.
well, you answered it. You said
No,
no.
I didn't say it. Well, no, I'm not done. I participate in the whole this Bitcoin system that allows for that to happen. So that if someone wants to borrow, I'm
Okay.
going to lend money. I can. There's plenty of systems that allow lending for things like that. I don't
But you
give
don't
money
give
to
any,
you.
but you
Why
wouldn't
would I
help
give?
anybody out. You
I
wouldn't
can
help
help
anybody
person.
out.
I don't give money. I don't give money to people.
Yeah, yeah. So you're really not that. You just
I'm
said
not.
that
I'm
you're
not
not.
even in a
This
place
is going to
to.
be a currency. You're only interested in that. That's going to appreciate. And that's the honest thing. I think that most people that are Bitcoiners, they're not in it because they want to help Africa. I mean, I don't see Michael
I.
Saylor donating his Bitcoins to anybody in or
That's.
Kathy Wood
Well,
and
oh,
somebody. I
okay.
think it's all about
Hey,
money.
guess
Be
what,
honest.
Dad? Hey, look up. Look up how much. How much. Buterin, Vitalik Buterin gave to. I forget who it was. Was it like India? You can look it up. Um, because they gave him a certain amount of like Shiba Inu tokens or something. It was a ridiculous amount of money, and he just passed it along to a country that was in need. I think it was like a earthquake or something that happened.
How
I
rich
forget
is
exactly.
this guy? How rich is this guy? What's he worth?
You have to look it up. I don't have my.
Well, you're telling me that, well, you're telling me some guy gave some money to some country. What does that mean? That
You
doesn't
said
mean
these people are
much.
just trying to. You were saying about Michael
Well,
Saylor, so
well, well, if I have $100 billion and I give $100 to somebody, that
yeah.
doesn't say anything. So
No,
I'm
I'm talking
interested
like
in how much he's, how much he
it
gave.
was like a billion or something. It was a ridiculous amount.
He gave,
It was,
wait, $1 billion, a billion Hishu. What did he give? Did he give $1 billion away? I don't think so.
it was a lot. It was definitely in the like 100 million or something like that. It was a lot of
A
money.
$100 million?
No, look it up.
Oh
Let's
wait,
look it up.
are you saying?
I can't. My
All right.
camera's taking up the whole
Off
screen.
screen. Let's off screen. Let's have a $10 bet. Let's have a $10 bet. I'm betting that
What?
he didn't give away $100 million.
How much do you say? I
What,
say it's probably
$10?
somewhere between 50 and 100. That's my guess.
$1 million?
Between 50 and
All
100.
right.
That's my
All right.
guess.
The next program. Stay tuned next week when you will tell us
Well, I'm
what
sure
you
most of
found
these
out.
people already know because they probably already looked at it. They probably looked it up. I can't look it up because I got my computer screen going and my phone is using the camera here. Um, but I don't, yeah, if I was in a position I had $100 million, maybe I would give more to somebody if I had it. But again, I probably wouldn't give it. I would do set up some sort of thing, whatever it is. I don't like giving money to people. I like to actually like do
Do you
stuff.
give to any charity? Do you give to any charity?
I don't have any money. If I have enough money, once I'm in a certain place,
You don't have
do you
any
give?
money? How many Bitcoins do you have?
I'm not going to disclose my financial, but
So
I
you
have
have
some.
money. You just
I have
look,
some.
I mean, well, I don't want to embarrass you, so we'll leave that at that. What are you drinking?
This is a limoncello LaCroix. It's pretty good.
No, non-alcoholic?
It's limoncello
Troy is
sparkling water. Yeah,
oh,
it's water.
okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So then we don't have much to argue about this week since we're on the same page, except for that Bitcoiners really don't care about anybody else except themselves. Now you're going to get
I
some nasty comments about your dad. I'm just convinced that it's you guys are gambling, and which is fine. I mean, but I would rather be honest. Like, look, hey,
I
I'm
think
holding on to Bitcoin because I'm hoping to make $1 million in the next 7 years. Just be honest and say
I
that.
think I think people see value in something. Of course, everyone would like to make money or see whatever it is. Like people don't just invest in crap just because it's crap. Like I don't invest in Shiba Inu or the um what was the other one? Dogecoin. I don't see value in it. It might go up, but at that I don't see any value. I
When you
if
say
I
you
had
don't see value, what's the value in Bitcoin? Where's the value in Bitcoin?
I
Because
believe
it's a
in the
coin just like the other.
technology and I believe in the technology. I believe in the community. I believe in what it's doing, what it stands for, and I think that it can have staying power. It's
That
just I
sounds like
believe in
a
it in a
religion.
store. I
You
believe in it
believe it.
as a
That sounds
store
like
of
a
value.
religion.
I
Is
believe it's similar to
who's
gold, but better. That it's like when people said it was a digital gold or like a digital gold, I just thought they kind of meant it metaphorically, but I was like, it actually does have a lot of the same uh things that it does, that gold does. Like, why do we choose gold to be our store of value? Why? It's
because of
worthless.
the
Okay, you can
because
use.
of, not gold is not has never been worthless.
I
Gold
mean,
has
but it's
been
just a
cherished
metal. Yeah,
centuries.
you can use it for a thing, but if
Decorate.
you because it's decorative.
Yeah, jewelry is kind of a big thing in the world.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
why
think
not? Why
about it.
not aluminum? Why not?
Clothes, all those things. No,
Why not aluminum or
because
copper?
gold
Why is
is
it
much prettier than. I mean, some things are pretty, some
just
things
because
not.
somebody
Gold is
said?
pretty.
Okay, oh,
Everybody's built. I mean, it's been
you
in all
can
kinds of cultures all over the world that people have
sure.
like look at gold
That's
and
what
go, oh,
I'm
I
saying.
like this.
Okay,
I mean, when Columbus came to America and they found all the gold trinkets and all the different things that they. I mean, it was like everywhere. I'm just saying, digital,
yeah.
but digital like the NFTs, it exists in the cloud or in the blockchain or something. But gold is something you can pick up and touch and use. I mean, gold is used in a lot of technology things too. I mean, it's used in a lot of
What I'm
things.
saying is
It's
the value based on that doesn't match up. It's overvalued.
uh,
It's overvalued for sure.
well, if you're saying
So
that, then something that doesn't exist in reality has to be
but
really
just
off-sell.
because,
Think about
but
this,
that's what I'm
like
saying.
a
It's just
digital
a
coin
store of
is like,
value. I'm saying for its use case, for gold's use case, it's overvalued. So that's what I'm saying. It's just what we decided to put our money in. And now, if you buy gold, if you invest in gold, you don't even hold it. It's held by someone else. So it technically you're doing it
are you
off chain.
where
You
are
know what I
you,
mean?
all right, where are you holding your Bitcoin?
Right here in my phone. I can store it. I can move it.
There's a Bitcoin in your phone.
That's where I have access to it from.
Wait,
No one else can
you
get it.
have access. Wait, oh, there's a door to
Yep.
find your Bitcoin. But
Yep.
where is the Bitcoin?
It's everywhere. It's on the blockchain. Everyone can see it. It's mine. My name, my numbers are on it.
But it doesn't really exist. It's just it's numbers or something. See, that's why I really believe that Bitcoin is
But if you were to buy, okay, if
Bitcoin
you were
is
to
a
buy gold,
religion.
if you were to buy gold, you were to buy $20,000 worth of gold, however much, $30,000, $50,000. Are you gonna hold it in a stack? No, it's somewhere else. Someone holds it for you.
Well, I could buy a lot of things that are made out of gold that
And
are
then what if you want to
valuable.
go and then you want to run to another country?
I
How are
can
you going to bring
sell
it
it.
with you? You're going to
I
carry it
could
with
take that
you.
when people do that.
Same thing with Bitcoin.
But see, I don't
They
need that because I have money in a bank and I can do wire transfers and stuff.
until
And it's protected. I don't have to worry
up to a
about
hundred
counting
thousand dollars. What
memorized
happens
software.
if you had $1 million? It's only protected up to $100,000. So you're going to put it
If
in
I had
real
$1 million,
estate. You're going
it
to
wouldn't be sitting in the bank.
yes, exactly. You put it
No,
in
if I
real
had
estate.
$1
You'd
million,
spread it
it
around.
wouldn't be sitting in the bank. It would be either in bonds or stocks or real
Okay,
estate.
real estate. So same with me. If I had $1 million, I'd have some in Bitcoin, some in real estate, some I'd move it around too. I wouldn't have it all in Bitcoin. But hey, we have to wrap this up because we're gonna the
Okay.
recording's gonna end. We only have 45 minutes and we've used up most of it.
All
So
right. So the takeaway is that the Lightning Network is garbage. It's really not really necessary,
I wouldn't say it's
and
garbage.
it
So I
doesn't.
think
It's to solve the problem that Bitcoin has, but it
it's
doesn't really
solving a
do it.
problem
Wait,
that
you have a
Bitcoin
third
doesn't really
party.
have, is what I think. But I don't know.
Wait,
If
it
you
solves
guys
the problem
disagree,
Bitcoin doesn't have.
yeah,
Bitcoin has a problem.
I
You
don't
can't
believe
use
in
it
that.
as a currency because
All right.
you don't want to use it as a currency. All right.
So I think next week, did we do Filecoin? We didn't do Filecoin, or did we do
I
Filecoin?
thought we were going to do the halving.
Okay, well, okay, maybe we'll do the
How
halving
much
next.
is the halving?
All right, we'll talk about that next week. If you guys disagree with what we have to say, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and yeah, well, maybe we'll talk about the halving next week. So until then, we will see you later. What?
Wait. Tell them to smash the like button
Yeah,
and
smash that
like
like
us and
button,
leave a
and
comment.
yeah, that's the same thing. Okay, see you next time.
Okay.